sponsor KRIM's Community Spotlight program. At Desert Financial, we believe in sharing success with our members and our local community. That's why our members get more just for banking with us, like chances to win sweepstakes, plus the convenience of online banking and our mobile app. Our members also help us give back through grants, scholarships, random acts of kindness, and more. Thousands of Arizonans have already joined Arizona's largest credit union, Desert Financial, located inside the Payson Walmart.
Well, good finally Friday morning, 3 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock. We're already up to 64 degrees here at the KRIM studios on West Frontier in Payson. And it's Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for the Hometown Movie Guys on Community Spotlight here on KRIM. And thanks to all of you joining us on KRIM, as well as we have 7 folks already joining us on Facebook Live this morning. Sylvia's with us, and Floyd, and a bunch of other fun folks. So thanks for coming along with us to talk to our Hometown Movie Guys. And first of all, Andy, how the heck are you?
I am most excellent, except for I think my back is broken. Except for that, though, I'm fine.
Okay.
Did Patty have you schlepping wood?
You don't need those, yeah.
It's just a flesh wound.
That's exactly what happened.
That's what it is.
All right.
Yeah.
And Tina?
I'm pretty good.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Contrary to what Facebook says about you?
Oh, yeah, I'm in jail again.
I think you just live there, don't you? All right. And Craig, how's life over at the Sawmill Theaters?
It's good. It's good, yeah. Things are continuing to improve and get better.
Getting back to whatever normal is.
Closer, yes.
Yeah.
Not there yet, but definitely trending in the right direction.
Cool.
Yeah, and Randy, Craig is really a trooper. You've got a bunch of extra special stuff going on over and above the regular movies, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow's going to be a busy one in the morning. We've got we're actually doing a fundraiser tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Kind of the return of those.
Okay.
We're going to be playing Raya the Last Dragon. You can come in and watch that for $5. And that whole $5 is going for local scholarships.
Oh, wow. Well, and you know, that just goes yet another example of how the Sawmill Theaters really gets behind the community and helps out in a lot of different ways.
Well, you know, this is one we've been working with these scholarship funds for about 10 years. I think we do one of these every year. So,
wow, very cool.
We were actually, I guess we didn't do one last year, but
well, yeah,
so
a lot of us didn't do much last year.
Yeah, so we got that, and we also have our classic movie tomorrow,
right?
West Side Story.
Ooh, on the big screen.
Yes.
Dating back, and we were talking just before going on the air today, I didn't realize that came out in 1961.
Yes.
That goes back a few years. And Andy, every time we just mention the title, West Side Story, he begins to sob uncontrollably.
Well, it's so sad. The only high point in there is I take some pleasure in knowing that when you're a jet all the way.
There you go.
And I like Officer Krupke. You know, I'm depraved on account of I'm deprived.
Okay. Look
That's
that
one
up
of my
in your
favorite
Funkin'
quotes
Wagnall.
from there.
No, but these classic movie Saturdays, they've been a big success. And you brought in a lot of great movies. And the best part is to be able to watch this. I mean, you know, I think, of course, anybody can rent some of these movies and watch them at home. But to see it on the big screen with the great sound system and everything, it's just nothing like it.
Right. Well, you know,
And the dancing and the music was by Leonard Bernstein.
That's right.
Yes.
You know, and this was when we had a great group coming in. You know, it's the first Saturday of every month, and we had a real good crowd coming through, and then 2020 happened. So we're working on getting this back together, though. And of course, if you come and watch the movie, you get to vote on our film that we play for May.
All right. So, and you actually take a vote right there of whoever shows up, and you get to decide what's going to come up next
Usually
month.
What I do is I throw 4 or 5 out there,
right.
Different options, and see what everyone thinks, and kind of...
How about a Racerhead?
No.
You ever get anybody voting for like Cheech and Chong or anything like that?
No.
Well, you know, we did Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
so
right.
we have,
That's
we
the
did,
same vein, so to
well,
speak.
we did Young
should do
Frankenstein too.
I think we should do Blade Runner. The original.
Blade Runner.
The
Wow.
original.
The original.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how far back does that go?
I'll have to look
Rutger
it up.
Hauer.
Rutger Hauer doing the most amazing monologue in movie history.
Absolutely.
Which he wrote himself.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
Oh, it's just wonderful.
It is.
He speaks of seeing the starships blazing in the arms of Orion.
Yes.
Whoa.
It's so
I think I
poetic.
did that back in the 70s.
Yeah, and directed by the great Ridley Scott.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Ridley Scott.
That goes back.
Favorites.
It goes back more years than any of us really want to admit.
Yeah,
But,
perhaps the greatest movie ever made.
Really?
Well, you always say that about different things.
But yeah, so we'll throw those.
1982.
Oh, it doesn't go back as far as I thought. Okay.
But yeah, so we'll throw those out, and the other one too. If people want to suggest a movie, we can throw that in there too.
Right.
And get that going. So yeah, this is another one we're trying to again get back to normal here.
So what's the most unusual request people have made for a classic movie? I mean,
Eraserhead. Yeah,
happened right here. As a matter
and
of
he
fact.
just did it.
Or anything by Ed Wood. Oh Lord, the
4
worst
minutes ago.
director the worst director that ever lived.
Really?
Right. Oh my gosh, yes. He's
Yeah, I think I missed that one.
I've had a long going battle with one of my movie buddies about me being too generous in giving away saw blades when I review the movies.
Right.
And I said, you don't understand. There are movies that are genuinely bad. And I bought him his own personal copy of Plan 9 from Outer Space, directed by Ed Wood.
Ed Wood, yeah.
And-
Oh yeah,
and
it's so dreadful.
generally regarded
Easy
as
for you
the
to
worst
say.
movie ever made. I mean, for decades.
Yeah.
And it is really, really bad.
So what we're saying is Ed Wood, but we wish he wouldn't.
Yeah, interesting
He
guy
was
though.
absolutely just weird.
Yeah, and he was not a good director.
No, and weird.
But hey, other than that,
Yeah, and plus he was weird.
being perfect like we are, it's easy
Yeah.
for us to see faults in
Yeah,
others.
yeah.
He's only really famous because Bela Lugosi's last movie
Yes.
was Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yes.
And he died during the production of it. He was a morphine addict at that point in his life.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was very, very sad end for a great career. So to finish the shooting, he got his dentist to perform the role of Bela Lugosi. So the last 20 or 30 minutes of the movie, you never see the guy's face. You just see this hooded, caped thing walking around. And the dentist had to pay. He was one of the producers as well.
God, that was more about that movie than I ever knew. That's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
So now,
Well, just by the way, West Side Story, just one other thing, reason to
It's
see
a
it.
great movie, not
Yes.
a bad movie.
And it was the 1961 or 62 winner of the Academy Award for Best Picture.
wow, very cool. And again, this is going to be tomorrow morning at what time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. $5.
$5.
$5. And or you can get in on that fundraiser where you're watching the movie about the dragon.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
And that's also $5. That playing at the
$5?
same time?
Playing at the same time, yes.
All right. So,
So
10
one
o'clock.
for the kids, one for the grown-ups.
There you go. Put the kids
You
in
got
one room, the adults in the other room, and the adults can cry and the kids can cheer and all that
and,
good
and,
stuff.
and those scholarships are local too. Emphasize that it's for kids here in Payson.
And boy, we can't support that nearly enough. And you've raised some pretty serious money for that in the past.
Usually they do pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, generally we expect a couple hundred people anyway. So
Right?
we'll see what happens tomorrow. But and we got that one in 3 theaters too. So don't anyone feel we're going to pack you all in one theater. They'll be spread out.
And again, only $5 to get in and watch West Side Story, and all of that $5, thanks to the Sawmill Theaters, going directly to some lucky recipients of scholarships here in Payson. I want to also say again, good morning to those that are following us along on Facebook Live: Sylvia, Floyd, Cynthia, Jody, somebody whose name I am not able to pronounce. I'm not even going to try because I'll butcher your name. I'm sorry. We'll try anyway. What the heck? Omavensi. Glad you're with us. Don and hey, Luann Carpino's with us. Luann, how you doing?
Hi, Luann.
Good friends from only a half million years ago. At any rate, glad to have you all along with us as we talk to our hometown movie guys. So now we've talked about some of the special stuff you have going on tomorrow, but now you have any new movies starting today?
Well, yeah, we actually have one starting today. We had one just started on Wednesday also.
Oh, in the middle of the week.
Special.
Special Wednesday, yeah. Special Wednesday release. The big one, Godzilla vs. Kong.
Can't get any bigger than that.
This one's kind of been a return. It did $10 million on Wednesday, which is
on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, which is again.
Gosh,
that's
I only
kinda,
did $5 million on Wednesday. That's amazing.
Still a little bit of a low number for a big film like this, but definitely showing promise here.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer to it, and I mean, it looks, as far as some of the CGI type stuff, I mean, it looks there's a lot of eye candy in this.
Oh, it's incredible.
And when you compare it back to, and we're going to be talking more about Godzilla movies from days gone by. But when you compare it back to like myself as a kid in the 60s watching the stuff coming out of Japan, I mean, it was like claymation and stuff. As a matter of fact, and oddly enough, my wife and I, there we were sitting in front of the TV the other day, and we somehow or other started watching the very first King Kong movie. You know, in New York City, up on the Empire State Building and all that. And I'd forgotten, first of all, I forgot how graphic certain parts of that were, as far as, you know, him flinging people around and biting into people and stuff like that. But I also didn't realize how cheesy it was because of what I can only imagine to have been claymation that they did with some of the facial features and stuff.
No, this is, and the 415 showing is in 3D. Get that one in there too. So yeah, we got a 3D version of this also.
And that, real quickly, that's one of the other things that I think is so cool about movies these days. Is this is not your grandmother's 3D movie. I mean, you put on those glasses and it's there's things flying around all around you. It's pretty cool.
This is not the they blue and red glasses you used to get. Yeah. No, this is all a special lens and everything on there. This is state of the art 3D.
Wow. So. To see, again, just with where technology has gone these days, to be able to see something like this with today's technology, whole bunch different. And now, have you seen this yet?
No. I've
Andy,
watched
have you
chunks.
seen this yet?
Well, yes, of course I have. I'm the critic.
You're so critical. And so, how many saw blades did you attempt to throw at
Boy,
Godzilla?
this is a big movie.
So these are big saw blades.
$200 million they spent on this thing.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, holy smokes, that is a bold move. It's made by Legendary Pictures. Legendary Pictures is a fully owned subsidiary of a Chinese company. So we have the traditional Chinese mega blockbuster sort of movie. There's a lot, it's really loud. There's a lot of trampling of Hong Kong. Hong Kong is really gets wrecked. I mean, really well and thoroughly wrecked. And nobody seems to mind, so I guess I shouldn't either.
I mind. Yeah.
But and that is, if you've ever been to Hong Kong, it's really a pretty impressive place to fly in and
Yes,
out of.
I have, and I mind.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I've had a few lengthy layovers there. I will say the sake was nice, but anyway.
My parents went there on a trip one time, and in those days it was a great place to get suits made. And my dad ordered 3 suits from this tailor, and my dad said, "Well, you know, when do you think they'll be ready?" And the guy says, "When you're leaving." And so my dad told him, "Say they'd be ready." You know, it's like 2 days.
Yeah. I had a custom suit made in a wonderful place called Bhimavaram, India. And I was told that, boy, you can get, you know, this guy over here will make you a suit real easy and quick. And so I decided, okay. And I think it cost me like $50 or some, you know, just crazy low number.
Exactly.
And it wasn't a bad suit. I mean, it wasn't you know, it's not like Armani or anything, but it was not bad, you know. So
Serviceable.
for $50. Hey, you know what the heck? It doubles up as a grease rag later on if you needed to. So it's all good.
We were in Hong Kong in 1954
Ooh.
because we moved out to Singapore in 1954, and we stopped off in Hong Kong. And my mother did some killer shopping there because at that time it was only, let's see, the Cultural Revolution was 1949. So people had escaped the horror of Mao Zedong and his bully boys and taken a lot of really wonderful old Chinese antiques with them to Hong Kong, where they were selling them for virtually nothing. And my mother, with a good eye and a modest budget, but was able to pick up some amazing stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, by the way, good morning to Lala, Chandy, and Lupita. And if I'm butchering your name, I'm sorry. I barely know how to read. But at any rate, glad to have so many people joining us along on Facebook Live this morning. Thank you. Now, as far as this movie, you said on Wednesday it did how much in one day?
10 million.
10 million, and it cost $200 million to make. So they've still got a few days to go to hit the break even.
You know, it's also already done 122 million overseas.
Right.
Wow.
So again, you know, China is completely opened up now. So their theaters are all rolling. So a lot of that money is over in China. But the overseas markets also, some of the other ones are open now, and yeah, 122 million. That's pretty solid.
They may very well get their money back on this. I'm not an expert on this, but the rule of thumb that I use is half for the theater and half for the production company, which means that the production company breaks even at twice the budget. Yeah. So 400 million, and they might very well do it. It's only been out. It's worldwide. It's been out a week, and or less than a week, I guess. And in the U.S., been out for this will be the third day.
And Tina, have you seen this yet?
I have not.
Are you going to?
I may.
Then again, I may
No,
not.
it's a big special effects driven.
If I do see it, I think I want to go for the 3D.
Oh, I would have to. And to just digress for a moment on that. 3D was always kind of cool and everything, but when Avatar came out and I watched that in 3D, I mean, I was a little kid in the candy store.
That wasn't that was the last movie you saw.
I've seen a couple since then, but they were artsy films. But
it's really cool. I watched one of the scenes where Godzilla and Kong are fighting in 3D, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, I would definitely see that.
And for me, I mean, I'm like I say, a little kid in the candy store. When it comes to special effects and stuff, I like to be entertained that way. So what was
I don't want to spoil your movie-going experience, but there is an important appearance by Mechana Godzilla.
Mechana-Godzilla?
Yes.
What is that?
It's a robot Godzilla.
They made a robot one too.
Oh yeah, he's been around for years.
Where have I been?
Not going to the
Not
movies.
going to the movies, apparently. I don't know. But it sounds like a bunch of fun. Now, that one started Wednesday.
That one started Wednesday.
And we have another movie starting
today. The French Exit. This is Michelle Pfeiffer. Kind of a little bit of like an art film. But this one is a comedy drama.
The French Exit.
The French Exit, yes. It's
So
Michelle
many
Pfeiffer.
one-liners.
Well, Michelle Pfeiffer is an heiress that runs out of money, so they have to leave the country and go to a little apartment they have in France.
Oui.
And it's Michelle Pfeiffer and her son and her cat make the escape to France. And her cat apparently is the reincarnation of her deceased husband.
It's going to be one of those quirky comedies.
Yeah. But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
But, Michelle Pfeiffer, most people say she got snubbed on this one for a Best Actress role.
Shame.
Really?
Yeah,
She did a pretty good job, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She
no,
is.
yes.
Yeah, I'd see anything with her in it. In fact, I will see
She's
that.
not hard to watch, that's for sure.
She's wonderful.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the most beautiful actresses, ever to grace the silver screen, and we were mentioning Rutger Hauer a little while ago.
Right.
And Michelle Pfeiffer and Rutger Hauer made a movie together called Lady Hawk.
Yes.
And it's kind of a fantasy movie.
Wonderful movie.
Michael Broderick is in it too, as a
Yeah.
very young guy.
Yeah. Or Matthew Broderick.
I'm sorry,
right?
Matthew
Yes,
Matthew
right.
Broderick. And the setup is that these pair of lovers have been ensorcered, and one of them is only human at night, and he turns into a wolf in the daytime.
I've worked with some people like this.
In the daytime, and or turns into a wolf at night, I guess. And the woman, Michelle Pfeiffer, is a hawk in the daytime, and then she's a woman at night. So they're never in sync. They're never in their human form at the same time.
They have a moment where they see each other at sunrise and sunset, but just for a second, and then they switch and change.
And there's one shot of Michelle Pfeiffer that takes up the whole entire screen, and it's just her face, where she's looking at her lover for that 1 second a day when she's able to see him. And my God, your heart just turns to jello. It's just 1985, and I can still remember. I can look at you and I can imagine that right this minute. It's that imprinted.
We look so much the same. Yeah. I don't know.
That's how
What
vivid.
did you have for breakfast?
Yeah, bartender, I'll have what he's having. Yeah. Interesting. No, and there are some movies like
Cactus
that.
stuff.
There are some movies though that do, I mean, stick with us a lot.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about Godzilla movies coming up. But
Well,
just
and Matthew Broderick is
Right.
in a Godzilla movie too.
there you go.
Yes.
So,
So it all hooks in together.
I think you're the only one that hasn't been in a Godzilla movie yet.
Yeah, and another actress is one of my favorites that's in French Exit is Imogene Poots, and I love her for her own self, but I also love her because I think her name is so cool.
Yes, it is cool.
What about Imogene Coco?
Well, no, she's
That goes
different-
back-
different
goes-
one, different.
That goes back a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you will recall, Imogen Poots, English girl, played in the English movie 28 Weeks Later, arguably
Yes.
the greatest zombie movie ever made.
You can argue about that if you want to. However,
And you know who else was in that?
I give up.
Just have-
I'm sure it just escaped me. I can't
He's
remember.
a fountain of useless information.
Okay, Imogen Poots,
Okay.
Idris Elba.
Oh, Idris Elba, I love him.
In a zombie movie. Can you
Yeah.
believe
That's
that?
a guy?
Plays
Yeah,
an, plays
he's
an American
a British
American,
actor. He's wonderful.
Plays an American general, and he's English, but he does American speech perfectly. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Robert Carlyle, who you will
Yes,
remember
Robert
from your
Carlyle.
favorite movie of all time, The Full Monty.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a real favorite. It's right up there with Brokeback Mountain.
Oh.
At any rate.
Jeremy Renner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And this movie was made some years ago, and these people are and Rose Byrne, or I don't know how to say
Byrne?
that.
Is it?
Byrne,
I think.
Yeah. Anyway, they're all of these people have gone on from this zombie movie to have just terrific careers. So.
Very cool. Now, we're almost out of time on the radio
What?
here. Before
How
we
can
run
that
out of
be?
time on the
No.
radio, what else is rounding out the slate for this
We
week?
still
of
have
movies?
nobody playing. Let's say.
And everybody's showing up.
No,
No, they're not.
Actually, it's been pretty quiet, and everyone likes this movie. Though it's beating up bad guys and killing them. It's
Oh, that's right. The death count in this is supposed to be some crazy numbers.
It's 65 or so. It's not too
okay.
bad. But yeah, no, this is kind of a fun. Just go out and bad guys getting beat up, and actually I've been surprised at the attendance being fairly low. I don't know, people need to get out and watch this one. It's good.
Tremendously good review in today's
Pace and Roundup.
Pace and Roundup of this very same movie.
By a very gifted movie critic.
I would certainly agree with that.
I assumed you would.
Still have Lamb of God playing.
And
Lamb
of course,
God
today is
concert
Good
movie.
Friday. I mean, a
Yes.
perfect weekend to see this with Easter coming up on
Now
Sunday.
we that just came off its first week. We're going to play this through next Thursday, and then it's going to be gone. So
How's it gone so far?
not too bad.
Yeah?
Not too bad. Yeah. Now I expect this weekend to kind of pick up a bit. So
What a great thing to see this weekend, though, with, again, the Easter holiday weekend and everything, and a great reason to go out to the theater and enjoy. I've been hearing some good things about this.
yeah. No, this is it was timed out right. For the Easter weekend.
Sure. Okay, what else is playing?
We still have Raya and the Last Dragon, of course.
Right.
And then Chaos Walking.
Okay.
It's a sci-fi one.
Yep.
And Tom and Jerry.
And Tom, so we've got something for the kids, got something for
It's all
whatever
covered.
kind of mood you're in.
It's all covered. Yeah, it's all covered.
Gotta love it.
And even if you go to one of the special movies tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., the snack bar will be open.
Ooh.
And popcorn for breakfast is perfectly all right.
I agree. You should write a song like that.
Is that what you have?
At any rate, we hope you get on out there. Don't forget that tomorrow there's that fundraiser at 10 o'clock.
And popcorn.
And popcorn, yes. But the one
And
fundraiser
dancing and weeping.
where the kids can watch the movie
Raya, the Last Dragon.
Raya, the Last Dragon,
And then,
and all the money from that's raised from that goes directly to local scholarships. And then also at 10 o'clock, the classic movie Saturday at 10 o'clock with West Side Story, where you get in for just $5 and check out a great classic
With
movie
the
on the big screen.
beautiful Natalie Wood.
I tell you, I had the hots on her. Yeah.
What an exquisite
And
woman.
I was so much better than Robert Wagner. I don't know why she went that way.
And pretty near every respect, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. At any rate, we appreciate you joining us on the radio. But hey, if you want to continue on, we're going to keep on talking about Godzilla movies, and we're going to do it. We're also live right now on KRIM 96.3 FM's Facebook page, so head on over there, and we're going to keep the conversation going. But meanwhile, here on the radio, we're going to get you back to more of your favorite music. Have some tunes coming up from Jackson Browne, Bob Seger, the Righteous Brothers, Jimi Hendrix, and more. But first, a quick look at Rim Country weather.
Now here's the KRIM weather forecast for Payson and surrounding areas. I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn. For today, becoming mostly sunny, high in the mid-70s. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 50, light northeast winds. Saturday, sunny, high in the upper 70s. Saturday night, clear, low in the lower 50s. And the outlook for Sunday, partly sunny skies, high around 80. That's your latest weather forecast from KRIM.
1, 2, check, test. 1, 2.
I'm going to chime in a little bit here. I got to get going.
Okay.
A little lower later.
The Cedar Ridge Restaurant. The latest slots, live blackjack, table games, and a friendly staff. More fun and more chances to win are just a short scenic drive up the Beeline Highway. More information can be found at Matizal Casino.
Well, that's pretty complicated.
They got blood on the floor.
So you just pull it out.
All right. It's amazing how this all works, this new technology. Well, anyway, hey, now for the second half of our hour here with the
Are we
hometown
on
ladies.
again?
We are.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't have to worry about your microphone, so it's just picking us up over there now.
We mentioned Natalie Wood is going to be in the West Side Story tomorrow.
Right.
Another movie that we showed, that Craig showed for classic movies was Holiday in Rome, Roman Holiday,
Roman Holiday. Yeah.
with her, and it was one of her first roles. She was very
Hey,
young.
Roman Holiday was Audrey Hepburn.
Never mind.
Have any of you ever spent any time in Rome?
This is why I won the trivia stuff.
Have any of you ever been to Rome before?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
That is such a cool
Several
place.
times.
Such a cool place.
Yeah.
I
Now,
would-
Roman Holiday was Audrey Hepburn's first big movie,
Really?
and she won the Oscar.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was-
Kind of like Goldie Hawn in Butterfly.
Oh yeah,
Butterflies are
Goldie Hawn, that goes
Yeah.
back a ways.
yeah,
I always liked Laugh In too.
yeah.
The late
Oh,
60s.
yeah.
That goes back a ways. All right, so anyway, the topic du jour today, because of the King Kong versus Godzilla, the latest iteration of that is currently playing at the Sawmill Theaters. Because of that, the decision was made through the corporate office for us to talk about Godzilla movies. How many Godzilla movies have there been? Andy?
36.
Really?
Starting in 1954,
36 Godzilla movies?
36 Godzilla movies.
right?
Yep.
And by judging from the trailer that I saw, they finally got it right with this current one. I mean, I just thought the special effects were cool.
Well, the special effects are better than they used to be. I'll say that.
That's for
Did
sure.
you know Raymond Burr was in an appearance in a Godzilla movie?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
about, I don't know, the third or fourth
Barry
Godzilla
Mason,
movie.
Ironside.
Yeah.
Ironside gets squished.
Yeah.
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 And it's very clear that they filmed him in Hollywood. He's on a set in Hollywood and he's just talking and that's it. For a few minutes and that's it. But
But he did make the
they
bit
thought
part.
they thought he was a big enough star that they wanted to get him.
Yeah.
Wonder what he got paid for that. And that would have been back probably in
Up to 50s or early 60s.
Yeah. But you know, and I'm reading this, I can't take credit for this, but I love great analogies. Godzilla is the James Bond of giant lizards. Think about that. The franchise, right? I mean, yeah. You know, and before James Bond.
That's a lizard that was shaken, not stirred. That's a bizarre quote.
It's a wonderful
Yeah.
analogy.
But it is good.
Yeah.
And the way Godzilla, the franchise, kind of the story of Godzilla has evolved, he's a friend of mankind rather than a city stomper. And in this one, he stomps Pensacola, and everybody's surprised. Everybody's going, "Oh my goodness! Why is Godzilla mad? Godzilla's stomping Pensacola to rubble, and why? Because he's such a good monster." Well, they call him Titans. He's a good Titan. He's not one of the bad Titans. So, you know, Godzilla as the friend of humanity.
He's clearly an anti-hero, I think.
Wow.
Well, he has his issues.
He's a
Or,
wizard.
Deadpool, in the Marvel stuff, where Deadpool's a hero, he's out helping people, but he might occasionally shoot some people too.
Oops, sorry.
A little collateral damage.
Yeah, well. So, but
And like it.
I know,
And,
in
enjoy
all
it.
of these different iterations of Godzilla, has he always been a fire-breathing lizard?
Yeah, and it's not exactly fire.
It's more like lightning or
Yes.
this, on this
Like
latest.
that.
Radiation.
It's what?
Radiation.
Oh, radiation.
Godzilla originally a metaphor for the atomic bomb.
Right. 1954, think about that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why he breathes,
Right,
has radioactive breath.
right.
It's all so clear to me now, or opaque perhaps.
Yeah, there's a great scene in the current movie where Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla are fighting, and they belch at each other, and there's this different. One of them has a red belch, and the other one has a blue belch.
I've had those
And they,
before.
and they hit in the middle, and they push against each other. Who is going to win? Who is going to win?
Whose belch is going to
And
win?
that's where Rainbow Bright was born. At any rate, wow, I don't know what these people that are writing these movies are drinking in their off time, but it's not agreeing with them. So now, out of all of these past 36 iterations, is there a favorite of Andy McKinney's in there?
I like the first one. I like the original.
Really?
The unfiltered impulse before they got it all clogged up with Mothra and Ghidra and all those guys.
And the very first one didn't have King Kong in it, though, right?
No,
it's
no.
just Godzilla himself.
No, King Kong
Person,
King Kong and Godzilla haven't been together since 1962.
It's been a tumultuous relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're apparently, according to the current movie, they are not liking one another. They break King Kong out of prison, and he's incarcerated by the humans, and Godzilla detects him from the Gulf of Mexico and swims to the South Pacific in a matter of minutes, apparently. Which I would think would be very difficult to do, wouldn't you, Tina?
He's Godzilla.
Hmm.
I mean, look what he did with Bambi in my favorite one. Which is it's what, 30 seconds?
Yeah, short.
Godzilla versus Bambi.
Godzilla barbecues Bambi?
No. It's a stomping thing.
Oh,
And, I'm a sick puppy.
Bambi became so depressed.
Sorry.
Yeah.
yeah. Wow. Well, I hadn't heard about that one. That's
Oh, yeah.
every time you think you've heard it all, it's like, nope.
But be of good cheer. There's a Teletubbies moment at the end of the movie between Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah.
A Teletubbies moment?
Yeah.
I'd have to go watch just to see what that's all about. That's intriguing.
Go watch it.
So,
Take a friend.
out of all of the iterations of Godzilla, Tina, is there one that stands out to you to be something that entertained you in some manner, way, shape, or form?
Yeah, Godzilla versus Bambi.
You just like that? That's it?
Yeah. It's a,
You have kind of an aversion to Bambi, is that it? Or
I'm not,
Yes.
not really.
Bambi lives matter.
Not really, no.
And all wildlife for that matter.
Yeah.
Pave it.
I know. But it just was so shockingly bad taste funny
Right.
that, I have that
Right.
that twist to my humor.
And
Sorry.
Craig, is there? I
Yeah.
mean, is this Godzilla stuff something you've watched closely? Or?
Oh, I love them.
Really?
Well, down in the valley, Channel 5.
Oh, yeah.
It was 10:30 in the morning on Saturday, World Beyond.
Oh yeah, I used to watch that all the time as a kid.
And they played all these Godzilla movies there, so
I think that's probably where
That
I've
was-
seen most of that. Was on
I
World
saw
Beyond.
those, Godzilla, Rodan,
Oh yeah.
Mothra, King Ghidorah.
Yes, King
all those.
Ghidorah.
That was one actually in the
Yeah.
last film where Godzilla and
Right.
King Ghidorah went at it. So they're just kind of a lot of these
so
movies
many
is
ones.
just pushing the they're pushing the envelope of special effects and what they can do, and this thing is just
And the story's not important, really.
yeah. I mean, some of them, I don't know, it does kind of take a back seat. When you're you're looking at Godzilla, swimming through the ocean, and he comes out of the water and lands on an aircraft carrier. Come on, that's pretty impressive.
You knew that he fights a giant
That
lobster.
they can do that. He was a lobster, a crab, or
Evira,
That's
Horror of the Deep,
yeah, some crazy
1966. He's a lobster.
Wow.
Or at least that's what they say.
a crustacean.
One of the things that, and not just in the Godzilla type movies, but one of the things that has really improved a lot since some of the various movies that came out in the 60s, even Academy Award type movies that came out back then, is I believe we've come to do a much better job on the music track on movies that really accentuate every little, you can almost tell that something spooky's about to happen just because of where the music's headed and that kind of thing. And all of that said, only to go back to your scintillating point about Raymond Burr. I remember as a kid.
Good word usage there.
Thank you very much. I've been waiting for an opportunity to use that word for months. But as a kid, I remember I'd be in bed at night, lights off, you got to go to bed, and I think it was, it must have been like 10:30. I don't remember what time, but when Perry Mason would come on.
Perry Mason's still on. We watch it all the time.
Is that right? Well, the music to that, every time I heard that come on, it was that spooky, weird late night stuff coming from the living room that my parents were watching. For some reason, that song just really, kind of creeped me out back then, and I still remember that. I don't know, something strange and frightening must have happened.
Ozzy Osbourne did a song about Perry Mason.
Is that right?
It's called Perry Mason, yeah.
I didn't know that. How's it go?
Perry Mason.
There you go. I like it. Got a nice beat to it.
I think I nailed it, yeah. Yeah. I guess Ozzy Osbourne was a Perry Mason fan.
Yeah. Wow. Well, man, where was right? But so as far as monster movies in general, Tina, because I kind of get this subliminal underlying feel from you that you're not completely impressed with Godzilla movies. Has there been any kind of monster movie that you thought was entertaining?
Alien.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is
nothing like
one of
creepy little
the
things jumping out of your chest to get your
One of
attention.
the scariest
I
movies.
thought that was a documentary.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and I love Sigourney Weaver in that. I mean, all of the Alien
Right.
movies.
Except for Prometheus, which sucked.
Oh yeah, that wasn't good. No, it was,
Also with
I liked it.
Yeah.
Idris Elba, by the way.
Yeah.
Who's also going to be in the next Suicide Squad movie.
Idris Elba is?
Idris Elba,
another
coming out
one,
in
another
August.
Another one. The Thing, John Carpenter.
Yes.
John
That
Carpenter.
is one of the scariest movies
It
ever
is.
made. It was with what's his name, Kurt Russell.
Right.
Oh my gosh, really
Oh.
good, really good.
Very interesting.
So I'm not adverse to
When that-
monster movies.
When that guy's head crawls off his own body and sprouts
Yes.
legs and
Yeah.
runs across the floor. Yeah,
It
that's
scuttles
oh,
across.
no.
It's got that crabby. Oh, yeah.
Borrowed the hand from the Munsters, wasn't it, or the Addams Family, or whatever it was.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible.
With a
Yeah.
face.
And it really creeped me out because I've spent years actually
Right.
in the Arctic in little teeny little stations like that.
Yeah.
And I know about Arctic isolation.
Yeah.
And to have some alien monster running around in there turning your head into a spider is just
Yeah.
horrifying.
Well, and John Carpenter does all his own music. So the music from The Thing is very perfect to up the suspense.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good.
So, but as far as
Still on the music, some of the most successful movies here in the last 7 or 8 years have been the two Guardians of the Galaxy movie and the two Deadpool movies. I mean, they're just absolutely terrific movies, but I can't imagine having to see the movie and extracting the soundtrack out of it, because the soundtrack is fabulous in all four of those movies. I mean, really, just great blasting rock and roll coming out, and it fits the mood of the
Radio.
Radio's not going. You did the computer. You stopped it. The other mouse. No, the other mouse.
Ella.
wow, how long has that been going on?
I don't know.
I've been,
Discovered it.
Yeah.
I've been talking to myself again.
Yeah, automate.
It went through the. I must have bumped something. It went through the stop setting. Anyway, hey, technical difficulties beyond our control.
Yes.
Or actually, not beyond our control.
Beyond our camp.
We just lose control occasionally.
Right. Yeah.
Golly. Anyhow, meanwhile, back at reality.
And also, another John Carpenter with monsters that are way close to home is They Live. That is, oh man, scary, scary movie.
With the brilliant Rowdy
Yes,
Piper.
Rowdy Piper, the wrestler. Yeah, yeah. And,
There was
and David Keith. David Keith.
David
Or is
Keith?
it Keith David? I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
But there were wrestler movie stars before The Rock.
Yes.
Really?
Rowdy Piper was fantastic.
I came here to kick butt and chew bubble gum.
I'm all
I'm
out
out
of
of bubble gum.
Well, I remember professional wrestling, and I remember as a kid going because it was about 36th Street in Thomas, and that was the area that I grew up in back in the 60s, or at least attempted to grow up. And I remember going to a couple of those, and even as a kid, that just seemed like a whole bunch of baloney.
You think?
But it was fun to watch. You know?
Yeah.
But it was strange.
You know,
Well choreographed.
Yeah.
well, my grandpa was, he was born in 1887 or something. He died many years ago, but he always told me about going to a grudge match in wrestling, and not fake, where he said that the one guy bit the other guy in the head and then put his fingers in
Oh!
yeah, just so they weren't always.
They talk about ripping you a new one. They,
This could have been back,
TMI,
1920s or something, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
so they weren't always so much for show.
I don't know, wrestling. My son was a wrestler, not that kind. I mean, actual
Yeah, that's-
competitive in the school type of thing. And you just get your head too close to other things. It's not something I barely ever wanted to try.
Don't watch Borat.
God, no.
Well, anyway.
Don't watch it anyway.
So, as far as
Worst scene ever. I really was terrible.
Yepers. So as far as the most redeeming quality to the most recent Godzilla versus King Kong movie,
I think it's the underlying political metaphor. If you think of the actually the three titans, King Kong, Godzilla, and Mechagodzilla. If you think of them as the Communist Party of China hierarchy, and they're destroying Hong Kong, I think that's the
Which actually is happening.
I think that's
how did we all of a sudden
Yeah.
get deep here?
Yeah.
But that's a real troubling bunch of things that are going on over
Oh
there.
yeah, I mean, what they've done to Hong Kong, they did the same thing to Tibet, and you could kiss those
There
places
goes the
goodbye,
neighborhood, yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah,
Wow, spooky.
yeah.
Well, at any rate, but what we digress. You have to go.
I have to go. Yes.
And
I'm gonna go.
we're going to be just behind you here in just a couple minutes.
Aloha,
Thanks
dear.
again, and good luck with the Classic Movie Saturday and the fundraiser
Yeah,
tomorrow morning.
should be good. Should be good.
And again, that fundraiser, going to be raising money for local scholarships. So get on out there, spend $5, and
buy some popcorn.
Yeah, buy some popcorn.
Yeah,
Maybe even get something to wash it down with.
yeah.
My favorite place at the theater is the snack bar. So
I'm looking forward to seeing Michelle Pfeiffer in French Exit.
I definitely want to see that. Yeah.
and again, that's more of a comedy.
We're going today.
It's kind of a drama with comic moments in
A
it.
dramedy.
A dramedy, is that a thing?
Sure, it is now.
Is
I'm an
that-
English teacher. I can make up words.
Well, there's
Or that'd be a comeda.
there's
that too.
the Bactrian camel, and then there's the dromedary. The dromedary has 2 humps.
Indeed.
What you call a camel with 3 humps?
No.
A pregnant camel.
Oh man.
I call it time to leave the bar.
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Dress him up. You can't take him anywhere.
So you're both going to see that movie today
Yeah.
with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
And she is very easy to watch.
62.
Yeah.
She's 62 now, same
Yeah.
age
Is
as I
she
am.
really?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
And and she's still she's making movies regularly. She was in the Orient Express here
Right.
2-3 years ago.
Which one?
And so anyway, she's making lots of movies still.
So one of my favorite movies of hers way back in the day was Married to the Mob.
Oh, wasn't
She
that
was
funny?
hysterical, right? It just, this mob wife who went through her adventures, but she really got in. I mean, she was so believable in that
It speaks
part.
with a Jersey accent.
With a Jersey accent, and I mean, it's so perfect. Yeah. And then also Wolf with Jack Nicholson, where she played, I mean, remember that with
Yes.
James Spader? Oh, creepy James Spader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arguably the most intelligent werewolf movie ever
I
made.
agree. I agree.
Jack
Wonderful.
Nicholson is just brilliant.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
Always,
I mean,
right.
I'm trying to think of, one movie that he wasn't stellar in.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the one?
You can't handle the truth. I'm sorry.
Well,
Back in Easy Rider, he's really the only decent thing in that movie. He gives that soliloquy by the fire.
Right.
And nobody knew who he was. He was this newbie, and people were like, oh, who is that guy? And from then, it was just all the way up.
Wow.
Yeah. And Chinatown.
Oh, Chinatown. Yeah.
Life,
greatest movie ever made.
Well, that's what I said. And Roman Polanski, we're not talking Godzilla right now, but he made another movie that I did not see until recently called The Ghost Writer with Ewan McGregor. And it's on Prime, I think. It's really good.
What's it about?
It's about, and Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, I love him.
Yes, it is about a writer who is hired to write the memoirs of a British Prime Minister, a very controversial British Prime Minister, who is now out of office. But I don't want to give it away because the plot is, and it's Polanski. I know Polanski is a bad guy. He's, he's a pedophile, and, at least from the 60s. But man, he's a good director. He's really a good director.
What was the movie that Michelle Pfeiffer made with that guy?
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Oh well,
where they work together in a restaurant. He's a chef.
Oh yes. Oh, I love that.
God,
movie.
I mean, just
I can't. Was it? It wasn't James Gandolfini, was it? No.
No.
I'm like.
No. It was
right. Yeah. Somebody really.
Same guy from Taxi Driver.
Who? Robert?
Yeah.
De Niro?
Not De Niro. The other guy. That's not De Niro.
Oh, okay. The
other Robert.
The non-De Niro. The anti-De Niro. Yeah, well, she is, I mean, she is exquisite. And I really think that seeing her as she matures is wonderful. She's great. And she's a great actress as well as absolutely stellarly beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, we're out of time. We got to get out of here and make room for DJ Pammy, who's coming in here in just a couple minutes to get started. But in the meantime, make sure you get on out to the theater tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, for the fundraiser and also for the Classic Movie Saturday, West Side Story on the big screen. You're going to love it. And we'll be back with you again next Saturday right here, right?
Yeah.
Page 11.
Page 11 in the roundup.
Find out all about, what movie again?
Nobody.
Nobody. Find out about Nobody.
67 dead Russian bad guys.
Gotta love that.